Kindly subscribe to my channel and press on bell icon to get more videos. Hi all of you, welcome to physics channel. This is Vinod Kumar. Let's deal with the reflection of light at curved surface, 10th class Telangana syllabus. You might have wondered by seeing different properties of light, miracles done by the light. In that, one of the properties reflection. You might have some idea about that how light undergoes reflection at plane mirror. You may have learned in your 7th and 8th classes how a mirror forms image as well as a curved surfaces acts like a mirror. Those can be called as curved mirror. So you also maybe observed that is that image formed in the plane mirror as well as in the curved mirror same or different. You may have seen that in a rear view mirror image appears as small in size. How it can form a smaller image compared to those that of the plane mirror. Plane mirror forms same size image. What the difference? And also you may made fun by seeing image in different surfaces. Sometimes appear that compressed, sometimes appears that bulged. Is the laws of reflection obeyed by plane mirror? The same way, these are also obeyed by specular mirror or not. Let's go one by one by understanding this topic. First of all, let us understand what are laws of reflection. Just imagine this is a plane mirror. You are having clear idea about the plane mirror. Plane mirror used to contain a plane surface for which to represent the quoted side we used to draw lines. Suppose a ray of light is falling at certain angle like this onto a plane mirror, then this is called as incident ray, and the point at which the light ray is touching the mirror is called the point of incidence. Then the point of incidence, if we draw a perpendicular line to the plane of the mirror, then that can be called as normal. So this normal used to make with incident rays at an angle. That angle which we are calling as angle of incidence. Then laws of reflection says that the angle of incidence is always equals to angle of reflection. In the sense, light ray of falling on the plane mirror should be bounced back in such a way that it should make same angle as that of the incident ray while reflecting. So that here if I draw the path of reflected ray, then this angle of incidence should be always equals to angle of reflection. That can be called as first law of reflection. I must be always equals to R. Then the second law of reflection simply says that the incident ray, reflected ray, normal drawn at point of incidence. R should lie in the same plane. R should lie in the same plane means incident ray is in the plane of the board. Then reflector also on the plane of board. Then normal also should remain on the same plane of the board. That's called second law of reflection. Now let's go for understanding whether these laws of reflection are accepted at curved surfaces or not. Means at curved mirrors the laws of reflection are accepted or not. If accepted, then how to go finding the normal? Means in the case of plane surface there is no issue. We can draw easily a line perpendicular to the plane of the mirror. But if a mirror is there like this curved, then if you want to draw normal at this point, then by taking which of the surface we can go for drawing a line at perpendicular. Then to draw that line perpendicular, let's go with some little activity. That let's take as activity finding normal to a curved surface. Just imagine or take a small sheet of rubber sole or the old slippers which is having parallel surface. In the sense a rubber sole, imagine just it is there like this. Soft rubber sole having parallel surfaces like this and is very flexible, can be bent to any shape. Now for that insert 4 pins. 1 pin, 4 randomly I have taken, your choice. Insert pins perpendicular to the surface. Now the point where the pin is inserted, this point, this point, this point, this point. It is all the point, these pins as those are perpendicular will become normal to the surface. Now, the same rubber sole, bend it inward in the sense like this. Suppose the rubber sole is bent inward so that the shape of the rubber sole changes like this. Then imagine what happens to position of pins. One pin which is here, one more pin which is here, one more pin which is here, another pin which is here. Then those directions will be bent like this. Not exactly. Now if I extend the path of these each and every pin. how they will continue. Suppose if I take the position of this pin, then take the path of this pin, then it's path of this pin. Let me go for drawing the path of each and every pin. Then we can see that the path of each and every pins are going and converging to one point. Right? Now the same, this rubber sheet is bent outward in the sense like this. And again let me imagine the position of 4 pins. Here one pin we have kept, second pin, third pin, fourth pin. These pins are, instead of converging like this, they will bend outward so that the position of pins will change like this. Suppose this is first pin, second pin, third pin, and the position of fourth pin. They will bend like that. Now suppose if I extend the path of these pins back, path of first pin, almost the path of second pin, path of third pin, this path of fourth pin. Now you can imagine, or you can get a conclusion that these all pins appear that they are starting from one point and are moving away. So here the paths of all pins are converged, and here the path of all pins are diverged. So the point where they are meeting, or from the point where they are appearing that are diverged, we can call simply that as center of curvature. And that is commonly represented with the capital letter C. In the same way, we can imagine about one point of meeting or one point of divergence in the case of spherical mirrors. Spherical mirrors means this rubber sole bent inward behaves like a concave mirror, and rubber sole bent outward behaves similar to convex mirror. So in the case of concave mirror, convex mirror, actually what is concave mirror, what is convex mirror? Simply they used to take a glass sphere. Imagine an empty glass sphere from which one part is separated, and for the separated part means a piece of glass, depending on the side which we are coating. Suppose if we coat outer side like this with silver foil, then the formed is called a concave mirror. Or the same, if you coat instead of outer side, if you coat the mirror inside, means outer side acts like a reflecting surface. This formed mirror is called convex mirror. Now for this concave mirror, convex mirror, if you want to get the path of light ray reflected, how to get? So to know the path of light ray, then we should know where the normal of that particular point of incidence used to be. That we need to understand. Simply a normal drawn used to pass through one particular point. This point as we're calling as a center of curvature. Then for the spherical mirror, where the center of curvature used to be? Simply, if all normals drawn from the surface will meet at one point, all normals drawn at a surface will meet at one point. That point is actually called a centrosphere, from which these mirrors are separated as a part. So this center of the sphere can be called as center of curvature. Now once if we got the position of center of curvature, then we can draw easily normal for any mirror, and if we get the position of normal, then we can go for incident ray. For the same angle, reflected ray path can be obtained. Recall a little bit of geometry which you learned in your previous classes. If suppose this is a circle, at this point if you draw a tangent to the circle, then at this point I have drawn the tangent. Then for the tangent, if you draw a perpendicular at this point where it is touching the circle, that becomes the normal, which we know. But a line drawn perpendicular to this must pass through center, or that itself becomes as radius. In the sense, simply on the surface of like this spherical mirror, if you draw any line passing through center of curvature can be called as normal at that point. For suppose this is a curved mirror, commonly known as concave mirror. Suppose this separated from a sphere whose center, which you are calling as center of curvature, is being there. Now at two different points, if you want to draw normal, one point I am taking here, one more point I am taking here. Simply you need to join one point is here, one more point is here. If you want to draw normal at these points, simply we need to join from that point to center of curvature. That itself becomes as normal at that particular point. This is the normal for this point. Similar way, if I join like this, then at this point this line becomes as normal. Like this, very easily we can get how to draw normal. Now if you know drawing of normal, then we can go for finding a reflected ray in the case of curved mirror. Simply, the light is falling on plane mirror or curved mirror, wherever on whichever the surface, light must obey laws of reflection. That is, angle of incidence is always equals to angle of reflection. Now, let's go for finding for a particular ray of light falling horizontally onto this curved mirror. Then, how it will be reflected. Let me go for understanding with a small example. For suppose, let me take this point as the point of incidence, and onto that point one ray of light is falling like this. Imagine one ray of light falling in this manner, so that at this point of incidence, as we know that this is the normal, so that this incident ray makes at an angle with the normal. If I take that angle of incidence, then we know that light must obey laws of reflection. Means for whichever the angle the ray of light is falling onto this mirror, for the same angle that must be reflected. In the sense, we can get for the same angle reflected ray, which will be like this. In the sense, if you measure the angle between this normal and this reflected ray, then this angle of reflection must be always equals to angle of incidence, so that we can get the path of reflected ray. Now, if path of reflected ray is got, then let's go for some terminology related to these mirrors. Okay, terminology. First thing in this terminology, just now we got there is center of curvature. Simply, the center of the sphere from which the spherical mirror is separated as a part, that can be called as center of curvature. Now, if you know center of curvature, then for this obtained piece, its geometric center or approximately midpoint. This point can be called as pole and is represented with the capital letter P. This is the second term. Pole is the midpoint of the curved surface. The next, if we join a straight line which is passing from pole and center of curvature, if we join a line passing from pole and center of curvature C, then that line can be called as principal axis. So, a line passing through pole and center of curvature and is extended to both the sides. This line can be called as principal axis. The next, principal axis. Then if you know principal axis, simply the distance from pole to center of curvature can be called as radius of curvature. Radius of curvature and represented with capital letter R. If parallel rays of light are falling onto this spherical mirror, how they will be reflected? Let us do a little bit activity how we can get parallel rays of light to the reality. Simply imagine verifying your drawing with an experiment means how to get parallel rays. First let me to explain, and after that let's go for parallel beam of light is falling onto the spherical mirror, how the pattern of reflected ray will be in the case of concave mirror and convex mirror. Let's try to understand a small activity how we can get parallel rays of light. Imagine this is thermocol black. Under the thermocol black I am placing two vertical pins, both are parallel to each other. Now to get the shadow of these two pins, I am placing a candle very close to the thermocol black. This is a candle, thermocol black, on which two vertical pins are placed. Now if you observe the shadows of these two pins, approximately the thermocol black shadow will spread up to over this distance, and the two pins paths will appear. One is being like this and another is being like this. In the sense, if you check the path of two pins, those are diverging away from each other. Now if you move the candle further away, means source is far away, what happens? Now I have increased the distance of the candle far away from the source. Means the same two vertical parallel pins inserted over the thermocol black, and candle is made to move away. If candle is made to move away, then the shadow size, spreading distance will be somewhat decreased. So the two pin shadows appears that almost parallel but not 100%. Little bit variation will come, but most parallel. Now if I increase the distance of candle further away, only one thing we have to remember, as the source of light distance is increased, so brightness in the formation of shadow will reduce, but the amount of divergence compared to here will go on decreasing if source almost reaches to infinity. If the source having enough energy or enough intensity, then two shadows will be very parallel. It means by this activity we can understand very simply, if we want to get parallel rays of light, then source should be far away and should have enough intensity. Then where we can get that type of source? Simply the only one answer is the brightest source, which is far away, that is sun. Means sun rays reaching to earth, we can consider simply parallel rays of light. Let's imagine if a parallel ray of light falls onto a concave mirror, how it will go? Reflection. Simply imagine you are having a concave mirror. Turn that concave mirror toward the sun and hold a paper in front of the concave mirror. Adjust the position of paper by moving slowly from mirror away, where the bright spot is formed. The bright spot can be called as the image of the sun. Remember, for doing this activity, paper should not be too much big. If paper is so much big, it used to obstruct the sunrise instead of falling onto the mirror. Take a convenient size, somewhat small, and adjust. The same which we can show the image of the sun by drawing a parallel beam of light by imagining, because sun is far away, the light rays falling from the sun used to be as parallel beam of light. If parallel beam of light happen to fall onto the spherical mirror, especially if you take as concave mirror, how they will undergo reflection? Simply I am taking a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 light rays are falling onto the concave mirror. Now these are the point of incidences for one light ray which is touching onto the mirror. Now at these points, if I imagine normals are drawn, as we know that till now with our discussion, normal drawn at any point must pass through center of curvature. So one normal that used to pass through center of curvature. Let me represent normals with the dotted line and light rays with the solid lines. At this point normal appears like this, and for this point, like every point, let me draw the normals. Then with the normals, with whatever the angles the light rays are falling, for the same angle that should reflect. In the sense, this first light ray, after reflection, with whichever the angle it is making, should continue for the same angle of reflection. Similar way, this second one is making with a normal a smaller angle. So for small angle only it should reflect. Remember, incident ray, to show this as the reflector ray, keep an arrow mark like this. Now the next one, for the same angle it should reflect. Then this one also. So this all the light rays will reflect after reflection and will go like this. Now this light ray which is passing through the center of curvature, as the angle of incidence is 0, so that will reflect again along the same path because I is equals to 0, so that R also 0. Now if you observe, all the reflected light rays are meeting at one point on the principal axis. This particular point is called as focus or principal focus, and that is represented with capital letter F. So this point can be called as F, focus or principal focus. If we measure the distance from pole to focus, then that one is called as a focal length. Then focal length is represented with a small letter F. So the distance from pole to till this focus, this line length, is called as focal length. Now, if suppose the paper, by keeping a little bit lesser distance than the focus. Now if you move before to focus to after focus slowly, what happens to size of image? Simply we can notice that if paper is kept at a lesser distance, then image forms somewhat bigger in size and less in bright. Now if you move the paper away, when we reach to the focus point, then image appears as bright and shorter, very point size. Then further if I increase the distance of paper, then image appears as big and that goes for blurred. Means exactly at focus, a bright image is formed if object is sun, which is almost at an infinity distance. Now can we draw the same diagram in the case of convex mirror? A convex mirror is a mirror which is coated from inner side and outer side acts as reflecting side. Now based on these shape, if you construct a sphere, then that sphere center will become as center of curvature and the midpoint of the separated piece is called as pole. Now let me imagine the sun rays are falling onto this convex mirror. Then how the path of reflector light ray will be, to understand that at every point of incidence, means at this point and this point, this point, this point, and these all the points, we need to go for drawing the normals. Then with the normal, whatever the angle of incidence, for the same angle, the light ray should undergo reflection. Now let me draw the path of normals. As we know that for curved surface, normal drawn at any point must pass through center of curvature. So let me draw the normals with the dotted line. If you got the position of normal, then we can get the position of reflected light ray. There are the normals at a different point of incidence. Here coming to this light ray, this is falling along the normal. So the angle of incidence is 0. So the angle of reflection also will be 0. So in the same path the light ray is expected will be reflected. Now I got the position of normals. Then for the angle at which light rays are falling, means if I extend suppose the normal path like this here. Every place somewhat I am extending so that to get the path of reflected light ray. Now this light rays means at an angle with this normal. So with whichever the angle it is falling, for the same angle that should reflect. Means after reflection, this light ray will go in this path. So incident ray, this is a reflected ray. So this angle of incidence must be equal to angle of reflection. In the same way, if I check about the path of this one, that will be reflected along this path after reflection. And this will go. Angle of incidence equals to angle of reflection. By obeying laws of reflection, the light rays will go in their own different paths. Check, this one is going upward, this also upward, this downward, this further downward. So that these light rays after reflection all are diverging away. So that if you imagine their path backward in the same straight line, means I am extending their path back with a solid line. Then appearing that as meeting at one point on the principal axis. Same way, extend back the path of each and every light ray. You can get one thing, that all the light rays that appear that are starting from one point on the principal axis. So this particular point on the principal axis in the case of convex mirror can be called as focus. So as light rays by extending back, those are appearing that as they are starting from one point. That's what only focus for convex mirror is a virtual as well as a focus for concave mirror is a real, because light rays by really meeting we are getting the focus, this concave mirror. Then the same way, however, for concave mirror, the distance from pole to focus is called as a focal length and repeat the small letter f. For convex mirror also, the distance from focus to pole is called as a focal length. Now let's go for lab activity. What is the lab activity, or what is the aim of that lab activity? Aim: simply observing the image formation by a spherical mirror. Especially let us take concave mirror. Means formation of image, measuring object distance and image distance in the case of a concave mirror. To conduct this lab activity, what are the materials required? We need what the materials? If you think, first of all, we need to have some object. For that object, we need to form image. So let us take a bright candle as an object. The next, if object is there, where to get image? That is, image to be got or obtained on a white surface can be called as a screen or white paper. The next, for catching the image after reflection, a concave mirror. The next, to measure object distance and image distance, one scale, and to place our concave mirror one V-shaped stand so that the mirror won't fall down. Now arrange all in one particular style, that first concave mirror in V stand, in front of concave mirror at certain distance. In front of concave mirror at certain distance, keep candle by lighting, and in front of concave mirror place the screen. Now slowly adjust the position of screen by moving away from the mirror where the bright image is obtained without any blurred. Then keep there and go for measuring from mirror to candle distance, which can be called as object distance. Commonly object distance is represented with the letter U. The next, measure the distance of screen from the mirror. That on the screen as image is forming, that can be called as image distance, and image distance is represented with the letter V. The next, also observe, is the formed image on the screen bigger than your original candle size? If it is bigger, then that image is called magnified image. And also observe, if it is smaller, then that's called a diminished image. The next, also observe, is the image formed is inverted or erect or upright? What is inverted image? Suppose candle is placed like this vertically upward, then image is formed like this, then it is called inverted image. The next, if the object placed like this, that is candle is like this, then image also forms like this, then the type of image is called erect image, erect or upright image. And note down these all observations in a tabular form. Note all your observations like this in the form of a table. Commonly you are taking 4-5 readings. So serial number 1, 2, 3, etc. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The next, distance of candle from the mirror, which can be called as object distance, mention as you, note down those values. The next, distance of paper from the screen, distance of paper from the mirror, which can be called as image distance, represented with V. Measure that image distance and note down in the table. The next, anyway, when image is formed on the screen, you are observing, is that the bigger than the candle, enlarged, smaller than the original candle, that is diminished. Then suppose image candle placed upright, image also formed upright, that's called erect. If image formed inverted, that is inverted. Observe and note down your observation in the form of table. And also you need to remember one thing, this for doing this activity, lab activity, we need to take a concave mirror of a known focal length. How we can find focal length of concave mirror? Simply take concave mirror, turn it towards the sun. Then take the paper which acts as a screen, adjust the position of paper by moving slowly away where the bright image is formed. That is called point of convergence. So that bright image distance, the screen distance from the mirror itself becomes as a focal length when sun rays are catched. So that is a known focal length of concave mirror which are taking. And also remember, sometimes if we keep a candle at smaller distances, image may not form on the screen. So for any such case, if image is not formed on the screen, observe inside the mirror. Is there any image is forming? If inside the mirror image is forming, is that inverted image or erect image? Is the diminished image or enlarged image? And also by observing this, note your observation in the form of table. Now based on these all the observations, go for constructing one more table with a particular style. Do remember one more thing. If you measure the focal length of any spherical mirror, that focal length always used to be half of its radius of curvature. What is radius of curvature? The distance from pole to center of curvature can be called as radius of curvature. In that radius of curvature, half used to be focal length. That's what we can say that radius of curvature is twice to focal length, or focal length is half of radius of curvature, and this is applicable for every spherical mirror. Now, based on these observations, let's go for one more categorization like this. Position of object, position of image, inverted or erect, real or virtual. What is real? What is virtual? Here I need to give clarity. Simply, the image which can be caught on the screen, which can be obtained on the screen, that image is called real image. Then image which is formed without any screen, means inside the mirror if image is obtained, then the type of image we used to call as virtual image. Means for a virtual image, there is no need of any screen. Inside the mirror if you see, then image is formed. That is virtual image. Now, position of object. Based on the position of object, you have to go for categorizing the previous observations. That is, if suppose object placed between the mirror and focus or principal focus, then where the image is formed, what is the type of image, inverted or erect, is that can be caught on the screen or without catching the screen inside the mirror, can we see or not. Similar way, when object placed exactly at focus, what is this? It means here inverted or erect, real or virtual can be called as nature of image. Means style of image formed can be called as nature of image. So when object placed at focal point, where the position of image and nature of image. Similarly, when object placed between focal point and center of curvature, then nature of image and position of image. When object placed exactly at center of curvature, then position of image, nature of image. And when object is placed beyond center of curvature, position of image, nature of image. These all go for observations. By those observations, what you can understand? Now, can we get this all the positions or we can go for guessing these formation of image without going for this lab activity? Actually, for every situation where we need to get the position of image and nature of image, we need to go for conducting a lab activity, and lab activity conducting is a lengthy process. Can we replace this total conducting of lab activity so that we can go for guessing the position of image exactly? Yes, it is possible by drawing ray diagrams. Ray diagrams in the sense, according to some rules, that is simply by obeying or accepting laws of reflection. If we construct the path of reflected light rays by considering the different positions of object, we can get exactly the formation of these images. How to draw ray diagrams? Let us understand. Now, let us understand ray diagrams for concave mirror. A concave mirror can form image by placing object at different places. Previously, we have seen in an activity that when sun rays are catched, in the sense sun rays, as sun is far away object, the light rays coming from sun used to be parallel to principal axis, and after reflection all the light rays are meeting at one point. Their image is formed. So by keeping a paper, we got the formation of image. Now same way, if object is placed on the principal axis at different places, let us understand how we can get the position of image. Simply imagine as a concave mirror, this point, midpoint of concave mirror is called as pole, and the center of this curved surface is called as center of curvature. Now I am considering this as an object or a candle placed. You can consider this arrowhead as the position of flame of the candle. Now to get the image formed by this concave mirror, where we want to get, then for that one style, or let's develop a technique. The technique is nothing but simply from one of the point on the object. For example, here at this point, let me consider from that point two light rays. Actually, from a point, many infinite light rays will fall onto this mirror, and they must obey laws of reflection, and after reflection they all will go in particular style. Now let me take two light rays emanating or coming out from this tip of this object. Now according to laws of reflection, they will reflect. Laws of reflection means angle of incidence must be equal to angle of reflection. According to that, they have to reflect, and after reflection, how they will go. Let me to explain you. For example, let me take that one ray of light is falling parallel to principal axis. Like this, one light ray is falling, and randomly I'm assuming one more ray of light, suppose starting from this object, falls on the mirror at certain point here like this. Then what the path of these two reflect light rays if I construct? Just now we know that first we need to go for getting the position of normal. So for this first light ray, this is the point of incidence, and we know that at point of incidence, if we draw the normal, that must pass through center of curvature. Let me represent the normal position with the dotted line. This becomes as the normal. Now this light ray is making certain angle with the normal. This called angle of incidence. For whichever the angle the light ray is falling, for the same angle it should reflect. So this reflect light ray, by using protractor, if we measure angle of incidence equals angle of reflection, we can get the position of reflect ray like this. Means the light ray after reflection passing in this path. Similar way, let's get the path of reflected ray which the light ray is falling on this point. Again, to get the path of reflected ray, we need to draw normal at the point of incidence. Let me go for drawing the normal at that point. And again, I'm drawing the normal with the dotted line. That normal should pass through center of curvature. Now, again, for whichever the angle the light ray is falling here by making with the normal, for the same angle that should reflect. So if I draw a line for certain angle, for the same angle, then expected to travel like this. Now you can observe these two reflector light rays. The one is after falling here reflecting like this, and one more after falling here reflecting like this. Both are meeting at this point. If I take this point as A. Now at the point A, if we keep a screen, what is screen? Any white opaque paper can be called as a screen, flat surface. So if we keep a screen at point A, like however we captured the sunspot on paper, the same way here a bright image of the candle flame is observed. In the sense, this point A will give you meeting point of light rays. Suppose if you move screen either away or before to this. For example, say instead of keeping the screen here at point A, you are keeping at another point the screen position. Suppose this is the dotted line at B. Then you can observe that light rays are not exactly meeting at the same point on screen B. In the sense, light rays are meeting at different points, so that those leads to multiple images and which one overlaps another one, so that the clarity in the image is lost. That losing the clarity in image we are calling as image is blurred. So that if we keep exactly our screen at point A, means we can get the tip of object's image here, and as object is located from the principal axis to certain height, we can get the image position from principal axis to till this point. Like this, if we want to draw ray diagram for any position of object, simply you need to consider two light rays starting from the object from one point. After reflection, where the light rays are meeting, see, you have to consider or you have to construct the reflect light rays by obeying laws of reflection. Angle of incidence equals to angle of reflection. Where they are meeting, that meeting position is called as position of image. But in real case, if you want to go for drawing the position of image for various positions of objects, it all becomes tedious work or difficult work to measure angle of incidence, angle of reflection. By measuring it, drawing it goes a lengthy path. Is there any short technique to replace these all by obeying all the rules and regulations? For that, let us construct 3 plus 1 additional. three situations and one extra situation, but rarely we use that extra situation. Let me go for giving that three situations, or we can call those as rules for drawing ray diagrams. First, let me construct in the case of concave mirror some rules for drawing ray diagrams. Rule number 1. Suppose a ray of light is falling parallel to principal axis. Like this, suppose a ray of light is falling. How we should undergo reflection? Simply, we need to construct a normal at the point of incidence. So that angle of incidence must be equal to angle of reflection. According to that, I am constructing one rule. Then we have seen previously by catching the position of sun onto the screen that a ray of light falling parallel to principal axis after reflection touching the principal axis at one point, that point we are calling as focus. In the sense, by accepting the laws of reflection, angle of incidence equals to angle of reflection, this light ray passes through focus. The focus is a point where all the parallel beam of light falling onto the concave mirror will meet after reflection. And we know that about the focus. Focus used to be exactly midpoint of pole and center of curvature. Is the midpoint geometric center of the given mirror is called pole, and the curved surface center means by constructing a sphere by using this curved surface a sphere, then center of that sphere can be called as center of curvature. So a ray of light falling parallel to principal axis after reflection commonly used to pass through focus. As a light obeys principle of reversibility, means if you redirect the path of light ray in whichever the path it is coming, in the same path it will move backward. Now according to that, if we construct a reverse picture for this, reverse picture in the sense, this is the pole and this is the center of curvature, exactly midpoint of pole and center of curvature used to be focus. Now suppose if I imagine one ray of light is falling in such a way that there is already passing through focus. Means like this, one ray of light is falling onto the mirror already by passing through focus. Now, after reflection, however, passing through focus before reflection parallel to principal axis. Now already passing through focus, then after reflection, by accepting the laws of reflection, it must pass parallel to principal axis. Laws of reflection in the sense, we need to get the position of normal. So normal drawn used to pass through center curvature. Now for the same angle of incidence, if we draw reflected ray, that will become parallel to principal axis. Means by obeying the laws of reflection only, rule number 1 I have constructed, and this is the rule number 2 I have constructed. Then let me go for rule number 3. Rule number 3 is nothing but once again concave mirror, midpoint is called as pole, and the curvature center can be called as center of curvature, and midpoint of center curvature and pole is called as focus. Now let me imagine one ray of light is falling which is already passing through center curvature. Then how it should reflect? Suppose a ray of light is falling like this onto the mirror which is passing through center curvature. We know that at this point if we draw the normal, that normal also passes through center curvature. In the sense the incident ray and normal both are coinciding. If both are coinciding, then angle of incidence becomes 0. If angle of incidence is 0, so automatically angle of reflection also 0. In the sense in whichever the path the light ray is going, in the same path it will be redirected back. So these three rules we used to take as common rules to draw ray diagrams. In the sense we used to imagine from the tip of object according to rule number 1 or rule number 2 or rule number 3, or these we can call as ray 1, and this I am taking as ray number 2, and this I am taking as ray number 3. So either R1 or R2 or R3 by constructing, means from the position of object by R1 or R2 or R3 by constructing, after reflection where they are meeting, that meeting position can be called as position of image. They are the mainly used 3 rules, and additional to these 3 rules, there is one more rule simply that says that angle of incidence equals to angle of reflection, that is applicable for any case. Suppose this is the pole of the mirror and the principal axis, and this is center of curvature. Suppose from object a light ray is falling onto the pole by making certain angle. The fourth, but this one used very rarely. Then this angle of incidence by making as equal angle of reflection, the light ray is reflected. So by obeying laws of reflection. This is the fourth rule. And again, if you want to use the fourth rule, again the same tedious work which we need to do. So this rule is rarely used by using 1, 2, 3, R1, R2, R3. For different position of object, we can construct a position of image in the case of concave mirror. Now let's go for a discussing about formation of image in front of concave mirror. Anywhere object is placed. Commonly in front of concave mirror, we can keep object from pole to infinity anywhere. Now, if you keep object from pole to infinity anywhere, where it forms image, what is the nature of image? Let's go for understanding. Remember, these all the positions from pole to infinity, wherever we are keeping object, those can be recategorized depending on the nature of image formed into 6 different categories. Now, let's discuss in those 6 different positions. If object is placed, where image forms, what is the nature of image? If you are having good idea about this formation of image by concave mirror, that's enough. We can get a very good interesting marks in the coming examination. Now let's go for ray diagrams related to concave mirror. We know that rules for drawing ray diagrams for concave mirror in the sense ray of light. These rules are derived according to laws of reflection. Ray of light falling parallel to principal axis after reflection must pass through focus. Ray of light already passing through focus, then after reflection it should pass parallel to principal axis. If ray of light already passing through center curvature, that means normal itself becomes as the incident ray. So that angle of incidence is 0, so angle of reflection also 0. The light will be reflected back along the same path. Now, to get the position of image out of rule number 1, rule number 2, rule number 3 or ray number 1, R1, R2, R3. Take any 2 rules from the position of object, especially from the tip of the object, and make them to reflect by falling on the concave mirror. Then after reflection, where they are meeting, that meeting position can be called as position of image. For example, in front of concave mirror, object will be placed anywhere from pole to till infinity. So pole to infinity, anywhere we are keeping object, where it forms image, what the nature of image, let me go for explaining. For example, from pole to infinity, all different positions can be recategorized into 6 positions. In that, let me take the first position. The first position is object located infinity. We know from previous activities, when object located infinity, light rays will fall, onto the mirror will be parallel beam of light. When object is infinity, light rays falling onto the mirror will be parallel beam of light. If parallel beam of light falls, then how it undergo reflection? Parallel to principal axis. Let me assume this is one of the light ray falling parallel to principal axis. So that object is located infinity. Let me take one more light ray that also falling parallel to principal axis. So 2 light rays I am taking that as they are falling from infinity. Then according to rule number 1, if ray of light falls parallel to principal axis after reflection, that must pass through focus. Then after reflection, this light ray will pass through focus. So this is the path of light ray. Remember Nana, when you are keeping arrow marks, one arrow mark before reflection, one more arrow mark after reflection. If you are not keeping 2 arrow marks or you are not at all keeping arrow mark, then that entirely goes as wrong. For ray diagrams, it is very, very important. You need to keep arrow mark at proper place. Arrow mark 1 is before reflection, one more is after reflection, but after reflection before the formation of image. Will be considered as high priority for keeping of arrow marks in the examination. Without arrow mark, that is a stupid, meaningless line. Arrow mark says that is a ray, so that you must keep 2 arrow marks. See, after reflection, the light rays are going and meeting at the principal axis. These light rays, by coming like this, by converging, meeting at the focus on the principal axis. In the sense, when object at infinity, image forms at focus, and what is the nature of image? Light rays are really meeting. So light rays are really meeting by converging to a point with that type of image is called a real image. As you have seen in the activity, sun very big, means compared to several times bigger than the earth. But when you catch onto the paper, that is a small spot we can get. So that spot is the image of the sun, means compared to sun size, the spot size which is formed on the paper is very, very small and real and highly diminished. Sometimes we can also call as point size image. Highly diminished image or point size image. Both mean the same. This as the position 1. First I kept object at unmeasurable distance or a definite distance. Then let me take that object instead of unmeasurable distance. Let me take it a measurable distance but beyond center curvature. If object is placed beyond center of curvature, let me verify where we can get or where is a possibility to form image. Again, this I am taking the position of concave mirror. So this side is a quarter side to represent. We used to draw lines like this. And the midpoint can be called as pole of this given concave mirror. Now let me draw principal axis so that that must pass through pole and center curvature, which you know already. This is a principal axis. Suppose this point becomes at the center curvature of this curved surface. Then exactly midpoint of pole and center curvature can be called as focus. If it is possible, measure with the scale and take, so that there won't be mistake in the coming ray diagram. Now this is C. Beyond C, let me extend for some more distance, and beyond C, let me imagine as object is located. So that let me get the position of image. This line further I am extending, so that beyond C here I am assuming that some object is placed. Object is so certain height. So the distance now I have taken. In the previous case is unmeasurable distance. Now I am taking that object is located at a possible measurable distance, means beyond center of curvature. Now according to rule number 1, from the tip of object, I am considering one ray of light starting and reflecting according to rules for reflection. So as we know that if ray of light falls parallel to principal axis, this is the principal axis, for that light I am taking as parallel. Now how it should reflect after reflection, how it should go? So if light ray is falling parallel to principal axis, after reflection must pass through focus. Now let me take the reflector ray path passing through focus. Next, the light ray is continuing in this path. Let me keep arrow mark, no problem, anywhere you can keep. Now let me take one more ray of light which is starting from the tip of object according to this, means that is passing through focus and is falling onto the mirror. Means I am assuming one ray of light starting from the tip of object and is passing through focus, so that it is falling on the curved mirror. Here is the object. The light ray is coming like this, that is passing through focus, which we know that if light ray passes through focus after reflection, it must pass parallel to principal axis. So let me take that light ray parallel to principal axis after reflection according to R2 or rule number 2. Yeah, I am keeping for this line my scale as parallel. And we can extend further, but for me required is till where they are meeting. See, this is the point where the two reflect light rays are meeting. This one after reflection and this one after reflection. So here we can expect the image of this tip is formed. So that base used to be on the principal axis as it is. Now if I join these two, that will give you the position of image. Now by seeing the picture you can understand very clearly. When object is placed beyond center of curvature, image is formed between focus and center of curvature. And coming to height of object to height of image, once measure. Height of object is bigger compared to height of image, means this image is called a diminished image. When object placed beyond center curvature, image forms between focus and center curvature. Nature of image is light rays are real emitting real image, diminished image, real diminished image. And compared to upright object, inverted image is formed. This is about the formation of image for two different positions of object. One is at infinity, second one is beyond center curvature. Now let me take that object placed exactly at center of curvature, where we can expect the formation of image. Let me to check. Let me take position number 3. Object is placed exactly at center of curvature. We know that concave mirror, pole, center of curvature, the midpoint of pole and center of curvature is focus. Focus is located here. Now according to rule number 1, to get the position of image, I am taking that object from tip of the object, one ray of light is falling parallel to principal axis, which we know that after reflection that should pass parallel to principal axis, that should pass through focus as shown in the rule number 1. So this is expected to travel like this. After reflection must to pass through focus and will continue in the same direction, right? Now let me take one more ray of light which is already passing through focus. And we know that if already passes through focus, after flexion should pass parallel to principal axis. This is focus, Nana. Now if it is passing parallel to principal axis like this, means the ray of light which is passing like this after reflection should go like this. Then if you check, the meeting point will be here. This meeting point is being exactly below to the center of curvature. Means at whichever the position object is located, at the same position image is formed. And you can observe, or if possible you can go for measuring with the scale, this side and this side both will be equal. It means this situation says that when object placed at center of curvature, then image also forms at center of curvature. Coming to nature of image formed because of light as a real emitting, so real image is formed. And real image, inverted image compared to upright object. So an inverted image is formed at the same position as that of the object, and the size of object equals to size of image. That's not only for this case, magnification is 1. Magnification is nothing but it is the ratio between height of image and height of object. Always remember, magnification which gives a ratio between height of image and height of object. So here height of object, height of image both are same. So ratio of these two will become as 1, or same size image is formed. This is position number 4. Now let me take position number 3. Now let me take position number 4. First case we took object at infinity, then as object distance somewhat decreased. Now I came to object distance to center of curvature. Now if you place object in between center of curvature and focus, where we can expect the formation of image. Once again the same, let me imagine the concave mirror, coated side, and its principal axis. And this is the pole. If possible is there, center of curvature, measure P to C, exactly midpoint by measuring with the scale. If we keep here approximately, I'm keeping, or most by using scale also, this one used to come as center of focus. Now east of at C, let me decrease the object distance toward this side. Means I'm placing object anywhere between F and C. Your choice, you can keep it anywhere, either middle or left side to the middle, right side to the middle. Somewhere I'm taking some object like this here. Means an object is placed between F and C. Anywhere you can keep. Now, according to this rule number 1, a ray of light falling parallel to principal axis. After reflection, that must pass through focus. Like this, ray of light is starting from the object, then after reflection must pass through focus. Keep the positions properly and draw the lines properly. Expected to go like this. Next, one more ray of light I am taking that that is already passing through focus. Means like this. Almost falling at the edge of the mirror. Then which we know that if ray of light passes through focus according to this after reflection, that should be parallel to principal axis. Means we have to take this light ray after reflection as it goes parallel to principal axis like this. This is the principal axis for that parallel which you need to take. Now check where the reflect light rays are meeting. One light ray is coming in this path, one more light ray is coming in this path. Both are meeting here. So this point, if you check, that comes beyond the center of curvature, almost at this place. And compare this height and this height. This image height is more compared to object height. It simply says that when object placed between focus and center of curvature, the image formed as light rays are really emitting real image, and inverted image coming to size of image compared to size of object. A bigger size which is called as magnified image, means height of image if it is greater than height of object, then that's called magnified image. So magnified image is formed when object placed between focus and center of curvature. Image used to be beyond center of curvature. This is position number 4. The next, let me to decrease object position further, means between instead of F and C, if I keep object exactly at F, where we can expect formation of image. Let's verify with the next picture. Let me take position number 5. object at focus. Now we know that according to rule number 1, ray of light falling parallel to principal axis, of reflection should pass parallel to principal axis. So should pass through focus. Like this. And second one, if you want to take according to this rule number 2, means light is starting from this falling through focus, then that will come vertically downward. So if light ray is coming vertically downward, it's difficult to meet for that light ray under the mirror. So let me change the rule. Let me use this rule. This rule in the sense, I am imagining that a ray of light which is expected that as starting through center of curvature like this and falling through the object. In the sense, here the center of curvature, I am expecting that a light ray falls like this, in the sense, falling in this direction. From object, any number of light rays we can take. In that, one light ray is going in this side. Means, if I extend this path back, that used to pass through C, like this. This path of light ray, if I extend back, that appears that as is starting from C. Now, we know that if a ray of light passes through C, then angle of incidence is 0, so that angle of reflection also 0. Means in whichever the path light ray is falling, in the same path that should redirect. Means this light ray after reflection will pass like this. In whichever the path it is falling onto the mirror, in the same path it will be redirected backward. So this is the path of reflected light ray. Now first reflect light ray, second reflect light ray. If you see, both are appearing as parallel to each other. And parallel lines where they meet, or parallel lines will never meet, or if they meet, they will meet at infinity. Infinity in the sense, these lines are extending till infinity. From there, from principal axis to that point where they are meeting is to infinity. If I draw, then this becomes very big line. In the sense, infinity, at infinity distance image expected to form. So as reaching to infinite distance is not possible, so catching the image also not possible. If it is possible to go to infinity, then they will meet. If they are meeting, that type of image is real image. So that's what only we cannot decide about the formation of image as first conclusion. Otherwise, image is expected to form at infinity. Nature of that image is actually is not possible to guess. Or we can say at infinity they are meeting, so that is real image. If you want to say that infinity they meets, then that we can take as real image. Okay, so real image, if they are meeting, real image always inverted image, and very big or highly magnified image is formed. First of all, deciding the position of image is not possible because they used to form at infinity, because parallel light rays will meet at infinity. If they are meeting, if we discuss, then meeting point is called real image and highly magnified image. Now, instead of keeping object at F, now position number 6, let me keep object in between pole and focus for the same concave mirror. If I keep object between pole and focus, where we can expect the formation of image? For this rule number 1, when ray of light falls parallel to principal axis I am taking, and after reflection, that is to pass through focus as usual. If it is passing through focus, then the path of light will be like this. Let me take one more light ray, which is passing through focus, means won't fall on the mirror, or better let me choose like here how I have chosen. Expected as starting from this, and if it reaches the path, passes through C. In the sense, let's make the light ray like this. Means the light ray is expected to fall like this. Now, if I retrace its path back, that is passing through C. Like that I am considering. So that we know that if ray of light passing through C after reflection should pass along the same path. How we can confirm that light is passing through C? If I extend its path back, that must pass through C. In that there should not be any doubt. With the dotted line I am extending back one C. Means I am imagining one light is starting from this point and in this direction falling onto the mirror. Then we know that if ray of light falls along the center curvature, will reflect back along the same path. So that after reflection light ray will come back along the same path in the sense. You can see this light ray will be retraced along the same path in this manner. Now once observe this reflected light ray, this reflected light ray. Here the distance between them is small. As the distance increasing, means as we are moving away, the distance between them is increasing. Means two light rays are diverging. So parallel beam means will meet at infinity, but diverging beam means one light ray is going away from the other. That type of light ray is called diverging. So diverging light rays will never meet even if you go to infinity. Then where the image expected to form? Now extend back the path of these light rays back. This light ray also back. Suppose if I extend this light ray path back, how it will be? Observe this carefully. This is a special case compared to all. Extend carefully. I am extending. As I am extending, real light ray is not going that side with the dotted line. The same way extend this path of this light ray also back. So there is a chance for them to meet. If they are meeting, where they are meeting, what the nature of image formed? Sorry. Keep scale all those carefully so that path should not be disturbed. See, if you observe, by extending those two light rays path backward, they are meeting here. So this meeting point can be called as position of image. And where the image is formed here, once check carefully. So image is forming beyond the mirror or back of the mirror. In the sense, light rays are not really going to the back of the mirror. Okay. Light rays really will not go to back of mirror, but we are imagining that light rays are starting from this point and are coming. In the sense, inside the mirror if we see, the image is formed. So the type of image inside the mirror formed is virtual image. So if you keep object between pole and focus, image is formed inside the mirror. The type of image is virtual image. And check object upright, image also upright. Compared to object height, image height is bigger. So when object is placed between focus and pole, image is formed inside the mirror, and nature of image is virtual image, because we are not keeping any screen to catch. Our light rays are not really meeting. By extending their path back, they are meeting. So image is formed inside the mirror. Nature of image is virtual image. Vertical image compared to object, a magnified image is formed. Like this, now you can check any position. See, beyond center of curvature we have taken, at infinity we have taken, at center of curvature we have taken, between center of curvature and focus we have taken, and at focus we have taken between focus and pole. Like this, all the position from pole to till infinity, wherever you are keeping the object, where it forms image, we can understand by using these all the 6 positions. So this will give some idea how concave mirror can form image when object is placed at different places in front of concave mirror. Now the same, these all the positions let me to keep in the form of a table. Means serial number, object position, image position, nature of image formed. Let's keep in the form of a table, and you need to remember the table, so that by remembering the table we could go for guessing the position of object, for that position of image and nature of image, and it will be very convenient in some of the numericals to guess the answer before to the calculation. Now let me give the table. If you observe, formation of image for different positions of object, which have taken all positions. First, we took object placed at infinity. While checking these all, the nature of image, position of object, if required, you can play back the video and come forward and compare both, so that you can get your knowledge will be added up and accumulated. So when object placed at infinity, we got that image is formed at focus, and that image is real image, inverted image, diminished image. And remember that very small point size image, so that we can call that as highly diminished image. The next second case, we have taken instead of measurable distance object at measurable but beyond center of curvature, far away. Then we got the images between pole and focus and center of curvature. And nature of the image formed is real inverted, diminished. This diminished is highly diminished. This is just diminished, but not very highly diminished. That difference you have to remember. The next one, third position I have taken that object placed exactly at center of curvature. We got image also at center of curvature. In that case, we got real image, inverted image, but object size equals to image size. So that is called same size image is formed. Then we have placed by decreasing object is further towards the mirror. We have placed object in between focus and center of curvature. Then for that case, we got image formed beyond center of curvature, and nature of image we got as real image, inverted image, magnified image. These up to these are the diminished images, but here onwards magnified image which we got. Now if we place object further by decreasing the distance exactly at focus, we keep object exactly at focus, then we can get image at infinity if it is possible to reach there. If it is possible to reach there, then it will give real image at infinity. In the sense, we got a parallel beam of light is coming. The parallel beam of light expected to form at meet at infinity. If they are meeting at infinity, then the type of image is real image and inverted image magnified. But the difference between this is just magnified image, but this is very highly magnified image. So highly magnified image which we can get for that position. The next, if object placed between pole and focus, further I am decreasing the object distance. Then in that case, we got image back of the mirror. This is important. Back of the mirror, inside the mirror. In the lab activity, for some of the positions, image will not appear on the screen. In that case, I have mentioned especially to see inside the mirror. Means if object is very close, that is at a distance less than the focal length of the mirror, then image forms backside or inside the mirror. Means if we see inside the mirror, we can get the position of image. And that image, if we check compare with original object, that is a magnified image we can get, and that image is upright, that's called erect image we can get. And this image really we are not getting just by the pattern of reflection or by extending the light rays back. Recheck 6% by playing back the video. Okay, virtual image by extending back the path of light rays which are getting. So light rays are not really meeting, so that the type of image is called virtual image. So concave mirror, if we check, as object distance decreasing, by seeing this image distance increases. As object distance decreasing, image distance increases. First, object at infinity points as image is formed. As object distance decreasing, then image size very diminished to same size to magnified to highly magnified. Means highly magnified reach to infinity. There are words further on decreasing of object distance, image is going to virtual. So up to 5th position real, 6th position virtual. Here one comparison you can understand. When object distance decreasing, in the case of real image distance increases. But whereas coming to virtual image, when object distance decreases, image distance also decreases. These are the things which you have to remember. This table will give you cumulatively knowledge about all the ray diagrams. This by keeping in mind, if you go for verifying the formation of image for different positions of object, you will get 100% exact result. If you are having good command in this table, then on the ray diagrams you will have a very good command. Keep this in mind and go for ray diagrams. Kindly subscribe to my channel and press on bell icon to get more videos.